What's up, guys? This is Bullby the Fell-Handed, and today we are in the T29 American Tier 7 Heavy Tank. We are on Abbey and Counter Battle Night. The greens have spawned on the southern side and the reds have spawned on the northern side. Now, the cap in this case is like in the E7 area, F7 area, completely on the right flank. And it's, of course, kind of split. You can go mid and get on the cap, or you can run that flank and get on the cap. So, you know, as a unit, as a team, it would behoove you to make sure you cover both sides. Of course, once you're kind of stuck, you know, on the outside, you can't really get in. But if you run mid, you can transition to outside. There's a little hill there. Moving on. So we have a lot of armor going down here, and it looks like we still have some at the J2, J3 area. At this time, so far uncommitted. You know, that being said, we are going to go ahead and push this because everyone knows when you have an encounter type situation on this map, the heaviest push is going to be down the one line. We are in the heaviest tank, so we are going straight into this push. We're going to try to see if we can't hold down this flank, give our other guys, you know, time to go over there and get to the cap, even though it looks like we just have a bunch of guys loitering around. We didn't have any fast tanks go to the cap, and that's a little odd. You're not going to see that very often. Most of the time you're going to see the mediums and the lights just immediately burn for the cap. But you know what, that's fine. So we made a good little clutch shot there. Go ahead and get that gentleman off the board. And at this point, I am going to say, you know, it is all about the kills right here. We go ahead and remove another one. There are times in the game where it's all about the damage. This is currently all about the kills, because what we are doing is reducing the enemy's ability to inflict harm on us. Now, I know that sounds kind of silly, but it's a fact. Essentially what we are doing is we are reducing the enemy's health pool while retaining ours. And I mean, by health pool, I mean the entire team. And, you know, it's kind of a trade, because if you reduce theirs and you finish off tanks instead of doing damage, you know, overall, your team as a whole is going to be better off. That being said, you don't want to have a bunch of kills with any damage, because your stats are going to take a hit, if that makes sense. I know some players go for damage and some go for kills. It's, you know, 6 for one, half dozen the other. A good player knows when to shoot for damage and when to shoot for kills. We're going to take a quick shot at the artillery right there. We got the clicker off the board. Have a T29. He's got eyes on us right now. We're going to try to toenail around in there, and we are successful. And it looks to me like he is going to back down, get into some good hold down cover. He put one in us right there as we were backing down. We returned fire, and unfortunately we were not able to connect. But that's fine. He's kind of low health. He has a lot of guys shooting at him, a lot of guys putting fire on him. We're going to be fine. We're going to go ahead and fall back, reposition, and start pushing the rest of the team here. As you can see, the Reds' advance has more or less faltered. They're not having a lot going on. And the main issue is, you know, could they make a difference right now as far as the red team goes? Yes. If they had a good number of tanks in one concentrated area and they ganged up on individual green tanks, yes, they could. I mean, it would be difficult. It would be a hard carry. But it's possible. I've seen it done before. So, the game's not over yet. I'm telling you what, we are just killing guys left, right, and center. And it's not going to stop. Moving on. So, they've only got 4 guys left, and essentially the hunt is on. At this point, it's just a race for damage. Granted, we have already gotten a considerable amount of damage. Very satisfied with the game thus far. And, you know, the team has actually performed, but it's not necessarily the greens have not necessarily done admirably. It is more or less the reds failing to produce results, if you catch my drift. They didn't push the one line hard. When they did go the opposite flank, they didn't go with any resolution. They just kind of pushed. No conviction there. They didn't have a mass attack. And, you know, that's what you need to do when you have overwhelming numbers. You need to focus on the few. You need to bring the many to bear on the few. It's a common military tactic, and then just wipe them out. They didn't really do that when they had the advantage, because we had quite a bit of guys running the one line. And of course, you know, the game always drops down into information. You know, it's possible they weren't aware of who was where and who, you know, who was behind what tank destroyer was watching them, because, you know, it's not always the guy in front of you have to worry about. It's the 2 or 3 guys behind him you have to worry about. So just keep that in mind. So moving on, right now we're going to go ahead and sit here and pull some cap points. Go ahead and cap this bad boy out. You know, and you do need to get 1 or 2 caps a day to satisfy your win 8. If not, you're going to take a hit. Granted, it'll be a slight hit, of course, but it still needs to be done. Now, we are kind of set up here in case somebody comes around the corner. We're in a pretty good position. All we have to do is just back around the corner if they happen to come. But considering that, you know, we've already got them on the map, there's not going to be any surprises. So we're covered as far as that goes. So, you know, we went ahead and locked the game down, and it was a good game. We did a ton of damage, and to boot, we went ahead and capped it out. Now, if you like this footage is from ByzantineFalcon. His link, along with other links, are going to be below in the description. Make sure to check that out. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you next time.